Hello and welcome to Slice of Piefer, Iron Man edition. We have our own Iron Woman with us.
I am Iron Man. No, that sounded a little different. Yeah.
Yep. So we talk about the Iron Man. Iron Man's coming up this weekend in Houston, in the Woodlands, frankly.
Yep. So I will be nowhere
So-
near that because I don't want to deal with the traffic.
I
all
usually-
the blockages.
I usually volunteer in the medical tent, oftentimes late at night, and so it is a very big challenge. You imagine these people have swam over 2 miles, ridden a bike for over, I think, 112-ish miles, and then run a complete marathon. Some of them have been on the racetrack for upwards of 15 to 16 hours if they're finishing after 11 p.m. So imagine a day, like a full 15 to 16 hours of working out. That's crazy.
How many people are allowed to do an Iron Man? Like to register for like the one here in the Woodlands?
How many participants? Thousands. There'll be several thousand who will do it. So very interesting. I mean, some interesting, just interesting stories about that. But right, being in as an orthopedic surgeon at the end, there's not a ton of orthopedic injuries. The most common orthopedic injury is clavicle fracture, right, from bike wrecks. I did have one patient the first time that we took care of this who traveled all the way here from California, finished the swim, finished 112 plus on the bike, and wrecked coming into the transition for the bike, and then had a full marathon with an obvious clavicle fracture. And she was like, I got to finish it. If I don't do this, I'm never going to finish. I'm never going to do an Ironman again. I came here from California. This is my one time. And we said, okay, we'll put you in a sling. You can walk. She had enough time. Like if she just walked the marathon, she had about, give or take, 8 hours. And so it was like, I think you can do it. And so obviously my shift changes. I go home, but you could watch the finish line, and around 11:15 p.m., there she is, not walking, crossing the finish line with her sling. Like crazy people.
Yeah, these people. I mean, it is a different breed of person,
Right.
who decides to do this as there's a lot of people who enjoy physical pursuits, but this specifically, like, oh my gosh, like it's nuts.
The endurance athlete, I mean, they really push the envelope of what you can do, right? Which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different endurance activities, whether you're doing things like ultra marathons or the Ironman. But yeah, you can go from the Ironman, which is 120 plus, and I'm sorry, 140 plus in terms of mileage. Half Ironman is 70.3. Then you can go down to things like Olympic length triathlons versus sprint and super sprint triathlons. And there's even kid triathlons. My kid has done those for years, and he loves them, man. He loves doing it. He's not a gigantic fan of swimming, so that's tough.
Yeah.
It's like he decided that swim was not his thing, and it's like that is one of the big three you need to be doing.
Well, and people I'm all about, I like the idea of pushing things physically. Like I was a gymnast, so I'm used to I'm going to try to do something that few people can do, right? Or trying to, make my body move in a way that naturally shouldn't. But like if you even just someone telling me, hey, go run a mile, I'm like, oh, I'm going to die. Like it's just the worst because I hate running. I hate it so much. But some people genuinely enjoy it, love it to the point where they can push those boundaries. Right. Even more so. And I just, man.
There's a bit of joy in the pain, but there's also a thing called the runner's high, too.
I've never once received said high.
From running?
No.
You got to run a little bit longer.
I have completed up to a 5K with a continuous run. And I never received even a glimpse of said high.
You never felt good.
No. But I have a cousin that she has always loved running.
Right.
Like she's one of these crazy cross-country runners, and she does triathlons and things like that. And I'm like, I don't understand it. She's like, oh yeah, within the first mile, like I start to feel good and feel like I'm in my stride, and it's really by a mile. And I'm like, no, I'm done after like half a mile. I hate it from the first step I take.
I hate it from when I put my running shoes on.
Correct. It's just miserable. I've done it just because I wanted to say, like, not a triathlon, but I've run because it's allegedly good for you, right? And to try it and to understand it better so that I understand my patients better. But I just, Sounds
Aren't you
terrible the whole
thinking
time.
about doing high rocks or no?
I have been approached about it. I am not thinking about doing it. No, somebody
neither.
approached me and somebody that I work out with a lot that we should do one together. And I was
Yes.
like, no, I'm just happy to be here and show up and
Right.
see if I can push more weight and do it with good form safely and see the benefits in my body.
Right.
I'm not interested in making it a competition right now. I've been competitive before, you know,
I'm with you.
definitely like that, but not
Yeah.
running.
I think
Swimming.
It's interesting. I was trying to think of any good stories. Obviously, the clavicle fracture story, that lady finished. She became an Ironman with that. The other thing that's crazy is just some of the inherent danger that comes with doing an Ironman, right? Like, it's not unheard of for one of the athletes to not make it out of the water, right? It's not unheard of for people to have heat stroke,
Electrolyte imbalance.
electrolyte imbalance. One of my good friends who's an anesthesiologist, and he told me I got to the, like, so we would be so I covered that transition in the first year I did it, but then every year after that I cover the late night shift in the big tent, right? The big medical tent. And that's when people have come in. They've been on the road for 16 hours.
If I am having a problem that's like medical and they're like, this is Dr. So-and-so, he's an orthopedic surgeon who's going to address it, I'd be like, nah, I'm good. Never mind.
Mean. That's mean. No.
Can you get a real doctor, like an internal medicine person over here?
This is the beauty. So number one, I'm not the team lead. So they have emergency medicine and critical care docs that are there.
Perfect.
But also with a lot of those folks, my team is always ICU nurses. So it's like, rock and roll, guys. I'm gonna eat pizza.
Let's get some hand stuff in this person's
Right.
stat.
No, but you get to where you can see it. Like, you can see, oh my gosh, we got to get labs on that one. We got to get, right? It's because sometimes people just come in and all they need is like a little bit of chicken broth and some water and to just cool off a bit.
You're giving him chicken broth?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I understand you want to vomit right now. Have some chicken
Have some
broth.
chicken broth. Have some broth. No, they need the salt and the, but
Couldn't I just like put a line of salt here and like I did with tequila in college? Wouldn't that work?
yes, you probably could.
Chase it with a lime. I'll be back out there not running.
But you wouldn't get the hydration. You wouldn't get the extra fluids.
Give
But
me a
yeah,
margarita
people,
flavored water. I would.
it's not uncommon that we could see somebody running, finishing the Ironman, collapsing at the finish line, and then they wheel them in and they're coming through and they've made it 14 plus hours of racing. And now you look at them and you're like, this is not looking good, right? And so then you get labs and you realize very quickly that their sodium is way low. That are there ants on the table?
I don't know what you're talking about. Keep going.
Ignore the sugar ants. Anyway, the long story short, right? So they come in and you can see they are pale. They tend to look a little bit gray or green. They look like they're going to get sick. They try to drink water. They can't. You get labs, and then all of a sudden it's like their sodium is way low, and then they start having a seizure.
Yeah.
And that has happened. I mean, that happens every year. Somebody gets, and it's either they drank too much free water while they were out, right? So they, instead of supplementing with salt, and sometimes people drink soda, sometimes people drink Gatorade, other things. It's like it's just like watching a show on the table. The ants go marching one by one. Hurrah.
No.
Why do we have ants in the office? Did you eat pie in here or something?
No.
Our pie thing is clean, right?
Yeah.
Meh.
Anywho, you were saying, sorry, I just get frustrated because every time if I end up in one of these medical tents, they're like, you look pale. I'm like, I always do.
I'm always pale.
Like, look at this. I'm okay.
But we can see it typically.
You look a little gray.
And they have a whole section. They have a whole critical care section that I'm not allowed to run.
Yeah, you shouldn't be.
Right. They let the real doctors run that one.
Makes me think of the anesthesiologist. This is not here. A patient was coding, and one of the very nice orthopedic surgeon walked in and was like, how can I help? He said, what are you going to do? Like the anesthesiologist is like, what help are you? I'm like, he is a doctor.
That's true.
Theoretically, he could help in
Theoretically,
some
we
way.
do know what we're doing.
How is their radial pulse? I'm sure he can
Also
check
true.
that.
Yeah. And then my buddy, the anesthesiologist, he went through, and I think if I remember correctly, the story was he finished the Ironman, got home, and realized like that he didn't really remember much of the marathon at all, of the running portion, and that it's not uncommon that we would hear this like, when's the last time you had water? I didn't. The last time I had water was halfway through the bike. So 60 miles on the bike, you rode 60 more miles on a bike, and then did the marathon, and you didn't ever stop to get water. And he said, no, I couldn't figure out what I needed. And these are athletes who that's part of it. Like if you're a real Ironman triathlete, like the nutrition part of how you're going to eat and drink throughout the day is already planned, right? Like I'm going to go for X number of miles, then I'm going to do salt. I'm going to do X number of miles, then I'm going to do goo. Then I'm doing X number of miles, I'm doing Coca-Cola, right? And they have it all set up. So
It just made me think of the guy from China who was like smoking 2 packs of cigarettes during his run. Like, do
here,
you think? No, he's from China. He competes in the Olympics and stuff like that. He's a super heavy smoker.
I don't remember. I don't know that
Hold
guy.
on.
I don't know him.
Is there a famous runner from China who's a chain smoker?
Hmm.
I found this on the web.
Yep. Runs a 3:28 marathon while chain smoking.
3:28 is still
50-year-old runner from China.
much better than I could do.
That.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yep.
Imagine what you could do if you
Completed
weren't
the marathon
smoking.
in 3 hours and 28 minutes, all while chain smoking throughout the entire race.
Holy
Nicknamed
moly.
Smoking Brother.
Very interesting.
He only smokes while racing, and he's done it since 2018.
Well, I guess you can push the limits of
Like, okay,
what
I'm
can
gonna
be
light up the
accomplished.
next one here.
Yep, push the limits of what can be accomplished.
I have a Coca-Cola at this point.
When you feel like you're you're completely exhausted, you're only barely 20% there. You've got 80% left. So for that guy, it's like if you've already smoked 2 packs of cigarettes, you still got
Yeah,
8 more left.
So much more. Just
8
keep
more
going,
left.
man.
Keep smoking.
Going. The only catalyst to like slow you down is your own mental faculties.
You're
Just
only
keep
limited
going.
by your negative
Not
self-talk.
Yeah, not the lungs, not anything else, not the oxygenation.
It's not the strangulation of your
No, alveoli.
of the alveoli.
It's
In
just
the
yourself.
capillaries. Your capillaries are just getting crunched down, so there's no
I think I
no
would
oxygen
just-
getting delivered to your
Just
muscles.
have friends throughout who are stationed there, and one of them would have Diet Dr. Pepper, and the next one would have the tequila with the
Yeah.
salt and the lime for me. I think I'd be good.
Tequila. Whew. Yeah, that's it.
Because I don't get the runner's high. I need something else to really give me that boost.
Right.
So I'm just
I
gonna
need a shot.
some tequila.
I have heard of actually people setting up on the sides of the marathon and having drinks, like having a bar on the side that people could like grab a drink.
This is an ultimate health competition.
Yes.
All right, see if you can do it, and then eat a donut.
There is a Baskin Robbins like 5 or 10K that happens in Brenham, Texas, and there's also several.
Wouldn't that be Bluebell, not Baskin Robbins?
No, yes, Bluebell. You're right, Bluebell. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, my
I
friends
may
from Brenham
I
are
may get
really
canceled.
not going to be
I may
happy.
get canceled by all of Texas for that.
Have you ever
Yes,
done the
Bluebell.
gallon challenge?
No.
I have twice.
What do you have to do? Drink a gallon of milk
and then run.
yeah, no way. That's
And
terrible.
you have to do it without hurling during the run. That's the
Nope.
other big part of that. You
Nope.
have to not throw.
The other
up.
thing, there's another one where you have to eat like 6 or 12 donuts.
I was thinking about the donut run.
Yeah.
No, there's also
We're really drifting away from health here.
well,
Cigarettes, donuts, milk.
yeah, but I mean,
And
again, how many
alcohol.
times do we see injuries in here from people who are training for or competing in these
Yeah,
things?
true.
So it's a pushing of health, right? So to say like a triathlete is, healthier than, so and so who doesn't push their body that extreme, I don't know that you can necessarily say that, depending on what's going on with the other person,
Right.
Because we see stress fractures, malnutrition, all kinds of stuff. You have to really be teed in, like you're saying. The people who do it best are people who have that nutrition down to a science to
Right.
give their body the building blocks it needs to continue to do that safely.
Yep.
Otherwise, you end up with some pretty significant injuries.
Yeah.
And it's really hard. And again, those people with the failure mentality of, well, I'm going to keep pushing through it. And I'm like, you're about to break
Right.
Like all the bones in your foot.
Right. Right.
Because you've got stress fractures that are here and you're telling me, but I have a marathon and,
Right. Just tell me if I can run or not, doc.
no.
Right.
And they're like, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm like,
Right.
I'll see you to pin your toes. Like,
I'm going to take that under advisory.
yeah. It's like you literally have a physiologic response your body is doing right now to the stress, and it's out of proportion, right?
Yeah.
Our body
Toenails
does get
falling off.
Yeah,
That's
our body
pretty-
does get stronger with certain amount of stress, right? But it's the
Wolf's
balance.
Law.
Yeah, Wolf's Law. There you go. Oh,
Great Wolf Lodge.
yeah. But it's
Please
balance.
sponsor us, Alani and Great Wolf Lodge.
Those are specifically the only two sponsors we want. We will not accept anyone else.
We will take donuts or tequila.
Or
as
Bluebell,
well. Bluebell.
who's never going to sponsor us now because you done whiffed
Because I
that.
ruined it. Ruined it.
Ruined it. But we might get a tequila sponsor out of this.
Yeah.
I'd like that.
You're not a tequila drinker, are you? Just in margaritas, or do you drink
I plead the fifth. I don't want no judgment.
a fifth of tequila?
A whole fifth.
Dear
Silver,
Lord.
please.
Dear Lord. Yeah, I hear you. I would say this. I think so. The thing that I love about the Ironman is seeing people push themselves to that limit, right, and seeing them accomplish what they need to do.
It's extraordinary.
The coolest piece, or one of the neater things that happens, is when you're there at the end, right? Like when you're there for the finish line, and there's those last group of people that are coming in between like 11:45 and midnight. Because after midnight, it doesn't count. Like once you go past that certain time period, you don't get to be an Ironman. Even if you went through and finished the whole thing, you don't get to have that official title. But the crazy thing is that the winners come back, right? The winners, the people who won it, oftentimes 8+ hours before, will come back to cheer on the people who are finishing. And so
I think that's cool.
it's a really, really cool thing, because you can't, they can't help them. They can't carry them across, but they can still support them. And that's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. It reminds me a little bit of like gymnastics when you have, level 8s who are cheering on the level 2 who's doing a cartwheel and stuff, like those people,
Right.
Earlier on in their journey. Some of them not as early as you'd think. When I got to college gymnastics, and I've been doing it for over a decade at that point, and then there's literally somebody who's competing at level 2 who she's just doing cartwheels and forward rolls, and you're just like,
What about log rolls?
that's not, no.
Log roll is the number one, just so you know. It's the number one gymnastics maneuver that I know.
Okay.
You just lay down on your side and roll.
Sure.
You never had to do that.
No.
Come on.
No.
Yes. Anyway.
No.
Have you heard of the Communion of Saints?
Yes.
Have you heard of Father Michael Schmitz?
Yes.
He's an Ironman triathlete.
Ah, cool.
So
I didn't know that.
He describes that end, right? That end of the triathlon, when everyone who's already finished comes to cheer on the finisher, right? Those last finishers, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's like turning that corner where you have this just huge crowd of people who've already finished the race cheering you on. That's how he describes the feeling that he feels like is the communion of saints, right? The people who've reached the goal that you wanted to, whether you're the level 8 gymnast or you're whatever. So I cannot take credit for that, but I really like that analogy because it's true, right? They've done what you wanted to do, right? They've lived their life. They've made it to where we all want to be.
Right.
And cheered us on.
Right.
Cheer us
awesome.
on to get to our finish line.
Yeah. I've never heard him say that one before. I mean, I've listened to a lot of his podcasts. I did the Bible in a year and the Catechism in a year.
Yeah,
so
it's a really, really
that
good
one.
Oh yeah. You can, if you Google it, you'll find it for sure. I mean, it gives you a little bit of goosebumps the way he describes it. He's a much better speaker, but it's really, really good.
Is he coming on the podcast?
Yeah, for sure. Please, please, we need you. We need you to get to 100 triple digits. We need you to get to triple digit subscribers.
I can hear his voice in my head, like after you said it. Hi, I'm Father Mike Schmitz. Yep.
He would. He probably would come on the podcast. Would just call
What kind of pie do you think he would want, though?
That's a good question. Humble pie.
You want to hear what's weird is I was gonna say the exact same thing, and then I was like, nah, I'm not gonna say that.
mean.
That's too far. And then you said it.
Done and done. Anything for you, Taylor. All good. All good.
I bet he's like a classic. Like he probably would be
Pecan, apple. I bet he's apple.
I was gonna say apple.
Chocolate icebox pie, maybe.
Chocolate icebox pie. Frito pie.
Ooh. Nobody's done Frito pie here.
That's probably what I would request. No frijoles, por favor.
Strawberry rhubarb, no?
Well, I mean, if you're asking me for a fruit pie, but if you're asking like what pie I've consumed the most of in my life and would love the most, it'd probably be Frito pie.
Frito pie.
I used to get it at the Dixie Chicken at, 11 o'clock at night. Yeah, they serve Frito pie.
Really?
You can get a sangria and Sprite and a Frito pie, and it's a great time.
It's a great night
Yeah.
of GI distress.
Playing some dominoes, carving your name into the table. It's good stuff. And if you're a young college girl, you might be able to sweet talk some guy into buying you that Frito pie. Can I buy you a drink?
Can I get you a drink? How about that? How about that bowl of Frito pie? I'd like that. Split that with you.
No, I would not split it.
You wouldn't share.
It would be all mine. Get your own.
Yeah. I don't know how I would respond to that.
If you offered to buy a girl a drink, and she
22-year-old JP would be like, Frito pie.
Yeah,
I probably would have said sure. Let's do it.
This girl's interesting. Let's see what's going on here.
Let's see what happens here. This could be my soulmate.
Let's eat this Frito pie.
Right.
You get your own though.
Yes.
No, it was good times.
Yeah.
Let's go play some dominoes. Let's talk about life.
Nice. Yeah. Domino's, life, Frito pie. I've never had Frito pie there though.
Really?
At the Dixie Chicken, no.
Yeah. Got to do it. It's a have to at some point.
It's no beans chili, right?
Yes.
Which is
Well,
that
at
is
least
exactly what chili
I recall it being no beans because I really dislike beans, but I will not say that I've ever had it where I was 100% sober. So we might need to revisit that.
All right. Road trip to the Dixie Chicken.
Yeah. What if I get it completely sober and I don't like it?
I feel like this was a terrible, terrible decision.
Good Lord, Taylor.
And
Why did you like
Now I have to
this?
drive for an hour and 15 minutes to
With
get back
indigestion.
home with indigestion.
We're going to stop by Brenham, though, and get some Bluebell to wash it down with.
Correct. Very good. All right. Well, let's wrap it.